Does Luke want to have lunch with Scott? No, that's not what he wants. Luke doesn't want to have lunch with Scott. What does Luke want? Luke wants to meet with Scott. Does Luke want to borrow money from Scott? No, Luke doesn't want to borrow money from Scott. What does Luke want? Luke wants to meet with Scott. Does Luke want to meet with Scott? Yes, that's correct. Luke wants to meet with Scott, which is the same thing as saying that Luke wants to have a meeting with Scott to meet someone to meet with someone means to have a meeting with someone. To meet with someone means to have a meeting with someone. That looks think the meeting will last all day. No, Luke doesn't think the meeting will last all day. How long does it think the meeting will last? He thinks the meeting will last about 3 hours. Does he think the meeting will last more than 4 hours? No, he doesn't think the meeting will last more than 4 hours. How long does he think the meeting will last? He thinks the meeting will last about 3 hours. Does Scott have a time for meeting this week? No, Scott doesn't have a time for meeting this week. He's very busy. Does Scott a little busy or very busy this week? Scott is very busy this week. Will the meeting between Luke and Scott take place this week? No, the meeting between Luke and Scott won't take place this week. When will the meeting take place? The meeting take place next week. Is that true? Is it true? Is it true that Is it true the meeting will take place next week instead of this week? Yes, that's correct. The meeting will take place next week instead of this week. Is it true that the meeting will take place next week instead of this week? Yes, it's true. The meeting will take place next week instead of this week. Why is the meeting and why will the meeting take place next week instead of this week? Well, the meeting will take place next week instead of this week because Scott is very busy busy because Scott is very busy. Now, let's help Luke and Scott figure out the best day next week to take place their meeting. You are looking at the schedule for Luke and Scott next week. I'm going to ask questions based on their schedule. Look at the schedule for next week. Now, let's help Luke and Scott figure out the best day next week to take place to set up their meeting. You are looking at their schedule. You are looking at the schedule for Luke and Scott for next week. I'm gonna ask questions based on their schedule. Will Luke be in the office on Monday? Yes, he will. Luke will be in the office on Monday. What about Scott? Will Scott be in the office on Monday? No, he won't. Scott won't be in the office on Monday. Who won't be in the office on Monday? It's Scott. Scott won't be in the office on Monday. Is it true? Scott will be absent from work on Monday? Yes, that's correct. Yes, it's true. Scott will be absent from work on Monday. Can they set up their meeting on Monday? No, they can't set up their meeting on Monday. Why can't they set up their meeting on Monday? Well, they can't set up their meeting on Monday because Scott won't be in the office on Monday. He'll be on vacation. Will Luke be on vacation next week? No, Luke won't be on vacation next week. Who will we be on vacation next week? Scott will be on vacation next week. Will be on vacation for 5 days? No, he won't be on vacation for 5 days. This is a short vacation. This is going to be 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 a short vacation. How many days will he be on vacation? He'll be on vacation for 3 days. Will Scott be in the office on Monday? No, Scott won't be on vacation. No, Scott won't be in the office on Monday. Does that mean they can set up their meeting on Monday? Yes, that's exactly right. That means they can set up the meeting on Monday. That's mean they can set up their meeting on Monday. That's mean they can set up their meeting on Monday. What about Tuesday? Can they set up the meeting on Tuesday? No, they still can't set up the meeting on Tuesday. Why can't they set up the meeting on Tuesday? Well, they can set up the meeting on Tuesday because Scott won't be in the office. Who will be absent from work on Tuesday? Is Scott. Scott will be absent from work on Tuesday. Is Scott. Scott will be absent from work on Tuesday. Will Scott be back on Wednesday? No, he won't. Scott won't be back on Wednesday. When will Scott be back? Scott will be back on Thursday. Scott will Scott be back? Will Scott be absent from work on Tuesday? No. Thursday? No, Scott won't be absent from work on Thursday. will be in the office. Alright, so Scott will be back on Thursday. Does that mean they can set up the meeting on Thursday? On Thursday? Um, unfor unfortunately, unfortunately, no, they still can't set up the meeting on Thursday. Why can't they set up the meeting on Thursday? Well, they can't set up the meeting on Thursday because Luke won't be in the office. He has a doctor's appointment that day. Who has a doctor's appointment that day? It's Luke. Luke has a doctor's appointment that day on Thursday. Scott will be Scott. Does Scott have doctor's appointment next week? Will Scott have a doctor's appointment that's next week? No, Scott won't have a doctor's appointment next week. Does Scott have any doctor's appointments next week? No, Scott doesn't have any doctor's appointments next week. Does Scott have a doctor's appointments next week? Does Scott have any doctor's appointments next week? No, Scott doesn't have any doctor's appointments next week. Tell me again. Why can't they set up the meeting on Thursday? They can't set up the meeting on Thursday because Luke has a doctor's appointment that day. So he won't be in the office. Will Luke be in the office on Friday? Yes, he will. Luke will be in the office on Friday. What about Scott? Will Scott be in the office on Friday? Yes, Scott will be in the office on Friday. Can they set up the meeting on Friday? Yes, they can set up the meeting on Friday. Yes, they can set up their meeting on Friday and that day. Meeting that day. Will both Luke and Scott be in the office on Friday? Yes, they will. Both Luke and Scott will be in the office on Friday. Can they set up the meeting? Can they set up the meeting on Friday? Yes, they can. But Luke and Scott will be in the office on Friday, so they can set up the meeting that day.